All right, my friends, hello and welcome. So for this video, I am encouraging you to grab a cup of tea, I have a whole mix of goodness in here. um, Take a breath, close your door, take some time for you. I definitely feel a little bit nervous coming on here right now, which is not a common thing for me. And I think it's because there's a deeper message that I'm not clear about what it is yet, and it wants to come through. We just had the Diamond Dojo workshop for the month, and I've just been sitting with a lot of what was shared during the workshop with these amazing souls. And part of what we talked about was basically, Kate, hi, love. We were talking about creator consciousness. The workshop itself was, we miss you, by the way, Kate. But we were talking about oh, Mandy's here. I'm going to do my best not to distract, okay? I'll look at comments at the end. The workshop, it was all about living your best life, and it was more of a clinic, like where we were guiding like breakthrough little short kind of sessions with people. And we were talking about creator consciousness, and we were really talking about the difference between victim consciousness and creator consciousness. And I just want to say right now, what I'm noticing in people and what I've been tracking in myself since COVID hit, and have been really going through a radical, beautiful unveiling of the next version of myself, is that everything in life from the moment we're born is designed to tell us that the authority is outside of ourselves, that the power is out there, that everybody else has the answers but you, but me. We don't, we have to reach for outside influence in order to get clear, in order to have power. In this live stream, we're going to be talking about inner power. Britta, I love you so much, so freaking much, and you're on my mind and my heart right now. So what I want to say is that since the moment we're born, our parents have the power. Then our teachers have the power. Then we go learn about politics. The politicians have the power. They're making all these choices. It seems as if all of the power is outside of us, when in reality, it is not until we actually tap into the inner power, to the sovereignty inside, that we feel free, that we get to live the life that we're here to live. When you open up a magazine or you get on social media, especially on media or in a magazine or something, have you ever noticed that when you're looking through all these perfect, polished, photoshopped images that tell you you have to buy this, or you have to get the iPad, or you have to get that, your life is going to be so much better once you have this thing? That's another form of this, of what I'm talking about here, where the power is outside of you. You have to buy this thing in order to be powerful, in order to be valuable. Right now, it's being exposed. I know you're probably very aware of this because you're tuned into this channel and consciousness, and you're on your spiritual path. Most of the world is not aware of this, not aware that we're basically trained from the moment we're born that we are to consume in order to be valuable, that we must add on to ourselves in order to be worth something, that we are certainly not innately worth anything or valuable. We have to do, we have to accumulate, we have to buy in order to prove how valuable we are. That is a death trap. That is why so many people are on medication. One person every 40 seconds commits suicide. It's why depression is so high. It's why anxiety is rampant. It's why we're seeing such an increase of health issues and emotional issues. And part of my mission is, yes, to help all of us rise into a higher frequency, absolutely, so that we can do the work we were born to do and make our world brighter together. However, if we're not aware of this trap, and we don't have the courage to be sovereign, if we don't have the courage to really unplug from this limited victim consciousness, or whatever word you want to use for it, this delusion that other people have the answers or the power is out there, then we're always going to be trapped. Now, here's the really beautiful news. Creator consciousness is basically saying that no matter what is happening in your life right now, And guaranteed, if you are human and you are in this human meat suit, you have challenges in front of you. We always have hurdles. You know, we also have beautiful, amazing things happening. And the truth is, those hurdles, especially right now, there's this kind of things are exacerbated, things are speeding up, things are being exposed that the mainstream wasn't aware of. We're beginning to see paradigms outside of ourselves, authorities outside of ourselves collapsing. And this is a really beautiful thing. One woman was sharing in the circle today in the dojo about her church being exposed as really off. Certain things really, really off. So that's a perfect example of having to dismantle this idea that the power is in the church and having to come into, choosing to come into this sovereign place. The most honest thing I can say right now is that even when this beautiful woman in our circle was sharing about some things that are happening in her life with the church, with her husband, with certain areas of her life, this is just one example. There's a message in me that I am afraid to share, and I know it's ancient, the fear. There is a power inside of you, inside of me, inside of us that is greater than any power. We all have access to it. And any place that we actually buy into some bullshit lie that a religion, a person, a teacher, a materialistic thing has the power over us, we are literally diminishing the very reason we came to this earth. I believe that if you're tuned into this channel, if you are on a spiritual path, if you're a deep thinker, if you are open to something bigger than what's actually in the three-dimensional world, if you question life, if you're looking at yourself and the world from this deeper place, then there's likely something inside of you that really wants to come forward to help our world evolve. But what I'm really tired of seeing is incredibly beautiful, powerful, wise, brilliant people tucking their gifts away out of some ridiculous excuse that and it really does take courage. It takes courage to say what I have inside is valuable and I'm going to go out in the world and I'm going to share it. So my question to you is, has there been a current struggle that you've been facing? Has there been something coming up on your path? This is just me tapping in to something that I'm not sure if I'm ready to unveil yet, but it's a deeper message. It's a deeper truth. And really, the gift is, whether I share it or not, it is going to be exposed to all of us because things are collapsing in our physical world. And let's say a hallelujah to those things collapsing, because what is falling right now is not truth. It's not serving anymore. I believe we're evolving as this humanity. And many of us, there isn't a savior who's going to come save us. But really, individually and collectively together, we are the ones we have been waiting for. And so what I am tired of seeing is that there are these incredible souls. And we all are tapped into, whether it's Christ consciousness, Buddha consciousness, Krishna consciousness, this deep, profound love, not just for ourselves, for all people, for all religions, for all species, for animals, for the planet at large, for the universe. And until we actually see that the power has never been outside of us, true power has never been in a person, in a lover, in a religion, and those things are beautiful. They can be beautiful. But until we actually stop the madness of believing that a savior is coming or something outside of us, if we achieve this thing, it's going to fix us or it's going to make us feel better, or if my body changes into the shape I want it to be, then I'll have arrived. Until we clean all of that up and actually stop, take a breath and see that right now, this moment of your life, of my life, of our lives, is exactly it. It is where we are meant to be. It is where all the gold is. The wisdom that's inside of you that you've been wanting to share, but that thought in your mind is like, oh, comparing to other people, they have such a big following, or, oh, who am I to share this? 1,000 other people are sharing it. Or any voice in the mind that tries to shrink you or me is victim consciousness. So I just want to kind of spell it out so that it's so clear, so that anytime a thought kicks in, so you can dismantle it by simply shining light on it, like, oh wow, fascinating, my mind is going into victim consciousness. Now I choose creator consciousness. I am sovereign. I am here. No one is coming to save me. I am the way. I am the one who's here to brighten the world by being the light, by being the love. So once you, one of the keys of creator consciousness, one of the really, really important and powerful keys, is to, number one, realize that whatever it is that is in your heart right now that you want to create is actually the true path. And you know instantly, it's like that instant excitement. There was a woman in the dojo, I was asking her, what is in your heart right now? What do you want to create? And she knew instantly, and it was really, really specific. And then within a millisecond, not a second, shorter than a second, like a millisecond, she was like, oh, but that's she's silly or stupid or whatever the words were, to knock it immediately out. So her heart went poof, and within an instant, the victim consciousness came in and went poof, put out the fire. I want us all to be aware of this pattern, because when you see it and you're no longer, because there's nothing to be a victim to. We're only a victim to our own thoughts if we allow that. But when we see it, when we see that victim consciousness coming in, this is the key. Number one, what do I truly want from my heart? If I were to like wipe the slate clean, and I've been doing this lately in my sacred space, I have this card right on my harmonium, on my altar basically, that says, I am creating a new life with new rules that totally supports me. Now I already, and I'm sure many of you are like, but you already have that life. Yes, and who I am now is somehow different than who I was 3-4 months ago, since prior to COVID. It's been like an awakening, beautiful awakening. And so I've been, oh my God, I get to start again. Like it could be anything, like no ties to any idea of who I think I have to be. And so I've been tuning into this place, and there's a lot of joy. There's a lot of beauty. I've really slowed down on putting so much energy and focus towards my work, however much I love my work. And I'm condensing the day, still doing the same amount of work, just in a shorter amount of time, opening up my time to sitting in my sacred space, to going into nature, to frolicking, to reading, to writing. The things I'm writing right now are just incredible. So I've made space for the things that my heart is like bursting open for, like, yes, poetry, yes, writing, like that stuff that just like, yeah, it doesn't matter if anyone ever sees it. Like it feels so good to light a candle, sit there and channel whatever's coming through. I don't think, it just comes through me. Terrified to share that writing, but it doesn't matter. It feels good as I write it. So that's step one. What do I want? What do I want? Like heart? What does my heart want? Second thing, what is the thought that comes in within a millisecond? You'll know because it's instant. The thought comes in immediately after you have a joy, heart-centered thought. And typically that thought that we've been programmed to believe, because if it doesn't make you money, if it doesn't make you a consumer, if it doesn't tell you that the power is outside of you, then that goes against the whole trance of negativity, the program that we have been spoon-fed since the time we were born. This isn't like an evil thing that life does to us. It's simply the way humanity has run for a period of time. Some may call it evil. I do not. I see it as a lower level of consciousness that we're rising out of. And so first step, what do I want from my heart? Second step, track, notice, have a journal. This book will help too, but that's not a journal. Have a journal where you write down the thoughts that talk you out of what you absolutely love. Write them down, even if it seems ridiculous. If you write them down, you get them out of your head, and they no longer have power over you, because now you've written it down, and now you're looking at it, and you're the one looking at it. You're not the one thinking it and believing it. You are the one observing it. Immediately you're put into a power position. From that place, we go into step 3, which is creator consciousness. And that is, whoo, what are my new rules for my new life? How do I act on that today? What is like one simple way I can do that? It might be, when that thought comes up, I'm gonna do step 5 of the diamond process and clean that shabeep up. I'm gonna clean up the rubble. I'm gonna go into self-forgiveness. It might be, I'm gonna go on a bike ride tonight under the moonlight, although it's the new moon, so really dark, but bike ride, or whatever the case may be. This may seem petty. It might seem silly. It might seem like nothing. But this is how we create a new world, when we lead from the heart. The whole world can be up in fear, up in arms, battling each other, in separation, in this polarity of this is right and you're wrong, or I'm right and you're wrong, and political things, all of that. But in reality, what's actually going to change our world is not hiring another authority outside of ourselves or electing somebody to make everything right. It's not going to happen. That's not where our consciousness is. It's not. The rising is happening through all of us. The awakening is happening through all of us. It's not coming through the biblical sense of like a politician's going to come in and save the day. If you've been waiting for that, or if you've been waiting for someone else to come, a lover, a spiritual figure, anyone outside, you might want to observe and really check in. Is that actually true? Or is it true that you are the sovereign one you've been waiting for? When I say sovereign, I mean the king or the queen who is here to transform your life. I will tell you that one day when it was 2009, I was sitting on a bench with my boyfriend at the time. I was on the verge of marriage with him, looking out on the ocean in Mendocino, and I was in battle with him. Had this perfect life. Everything was perfect, and he was trying to help, and he couldn't reach me. And it was so painful. It was like I was just isolated, alone. And if anyone could have helped me, it would have been him. He couldn't save me from my depression. He couldn't save me from my suicidal thoughts. He couldn't save me from my anxiety. He couldn't save me from anything. He was so loving, but he couldn't even save me. And on that bench that day, I realized, oh my God, no one's coming. Like I thought he was it. That means no one is actually coming, because if he can't do it, no one can. No one has up until this point. And instantly, within that same, what may seem like a really depressing thought, all of my life force returned. And that was the beginning of my liberation, because I realized I'm here. Oh my God, I'm the one who gets to be the queen of my life. I am the queen of my life. I get to rescue myself and bring myself to the world once I am ready in this new way. And that's exactly what I did, exactly what's in the Diamond Process book, that sharing of what happened there. I don't know why I keep showing you guys the book today, but it's near me. So have you been waiting for somebody to rescue you out of your life, out of your current predicament? Have you been hoping that, knowing deep down that something's off in your current reality and it's not where you want to be anymore, it's not what you want to do anymore, but something keeps you there? That's something that was shared today in the circle by somebody, and it takes courage, and I'm not like dismissing this as like, oh yeah, just change your life. It takes courage, and it takes a deep friendship with ourselves, a deep, profound loyalty to the soul, to be discerning and know what is actually from my heart and what have I been fed. What are the lies I've been telling myself? And here's the really beautiful thing. If there's a choice you've been needing to make, or your heart really has been guiding you to put more energy into something that is incredibly alive for you, and you've been talking yourself out of it with some noise in your head that you're consciously or unconsciously unaware of, then I invite you to first be really gentle on yourself, because where you are right now is exactly where we're meant to be. Like there's no way around that. Life is so perfectly designed. And to secondly, ask yourself, not what's some abrupt way to change my life. How can I do this gently? because right now gentleness is really needed in our world. And that means applying that gentleness to ourselves. How can I do this with extra kindness? If I choose to stay exactly where I am, can I at least be kind to myself as I stay in this place? That alone will transform your life. And likely the change will just naturally be a byproduct because you can now trust that you're going to be good to yourself in a new circumstance. Because oftentimes we're just afraid if I make a change, I leave this or I do that, then I'm alone and then I'm stuck with myself. But if you master yourself and you become a friend of yourself, it's okay. Any choice is easier. Its courage becomes a natural byproduct because no matter what choice you make, there you are with yourself in your life, loving yourself, being present, mastering that voice in the mind. So there's a lot more that's brewing. The comfort zone for me is to make a business video for spiritual entrepreneurs. And I can tell you exactly how to rock it out on video and how to rock it out in your life and to be confident. But when I get back to my roots of why I really started this channel, it's to help us all, to help myself, to help us all go super, super deep into the absolute truth, the authentic power that lives inside of each of us, the authentic power that's always here. And when I say raise our frequency, that's our number one job, it's really the exact same thing. What thought has been taking you out of your own freedom, your own power, that inner power? I wouldn't even say your power or my power. It's just like the source of life at the center of silence or stillness. And what do you need in order to tend and nurture yourself in a way that is like radical? In a way, you may think that you're in self-care right now, but take it to the next level. Take it like over the top. Be ridiculous with self-care and putting spiritual practice first. This is a message for me as well. I've been sitting so much, my meditation space, I'm just recreating. It's so beautiful. I've been sitting there so much. And it's home. And to be able to bring home and have more courageous videos where I don't even know what's going to come out of my mouth. It's not so formulaic. And to simply share my heart and not care about how many people subscribe or unsubscribe. This is who I am. Take it or leave it, right? So this sort of thing. So I love you guys with all of my heart. And part of why I'm sharing this is because I know there's something in you that is birthing right now, because it's happening on a collective level. It's like the whole world is a garden with seeds, and right now those seeds are preparing to sprout, but it really is up to us to create the conditions, the sunshine, the water, whatever nurtures us, to allow those soul seeds to sprout. And you might not even know what that is right now. I don't know what it is. When I'm sitting down to write poetry, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know where this is coming from. And I'm writing and I'm letting it out, and I'm letting it out because for something wants that to come through. There's something that needs to come through you. So if you've ever questioned if self-care is selfish, what if self-care is the way you water the seeds, you water the soil, you nurture the soil so that what Creator intended for you can actually move through, because you're in a calm enough state to allow yourself to share and express and be the one you are deep down. Thank you so, so much for being on this journey with me. Yes. Oh, Careful Carpenter is here. So I'm just going to read some of your comments here. If you are, oh, I love you. There's so much. So right now here, Britta, Mandy, there's so many talented souls here. Rewired for Joy, that's Kate. Careful Carpenter, who writes these incredible, I don't think you have a YouTube channel, but you write these beautiful comments. There's so much talent right here. Go check out their channels. I mean, truly. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, so if you could just work on this date. Love your, nice. Oh, thank you. That picture, yes, is every day when I lived in Bali, not lived, I was there for 3 weeks in 2008, I believe. I'd walk by this artist, and people ask me about this painting all the time, so I'm just going to answer the question. I know you're not asking here, but I was going through a really, really challenging time after India for a couple months and then Bali. And I'd walk into this artist shop in Ubud, and I would, from yoga to my place I was staying, every day walk into his shop and look at his art, and he was brilliant. And I'd stand in front of her. She's like the size of me, and I just would weep, and I didn't know why. Here's a great example, right? That man, that artist in Ubud, he's a great example of somebody who was sharing the gift inside of him. Not what he thought he should do, but he had the courage to make his art and share the thing that was on his heart. And I'd cry, and I was walk back and forth. It never occurred to me to even buy it. And then one day I just was standing there for like the 20th time, and he's like, why don't you buy the painting? And he said the number, and I was like, it's too much of an investment for me right now. I was like 20, I don't even know how old at the time. I had never bought a beautiful piece of artwork before, and he literally gave it to me for a fifth of the cost, because he said, there's nothing more valuable to me than knowing that my art is moving you and that it's standing on the walls of people who actually appreciate it. And her name is Rosa, and she always has my back. I think she's the most beautiful woman in the world, because she's centered in nature, she's centered in herself, and from that stillness, she's blossoming. She's not doing a thing. She's just letting go. She's in surrender. She's in presence. And that, I believe, is really what sovereignty is dropping out of the neurosis in our culture. Like Krishnamurti says, there's nothing healthy about trying to fit into a profoundly sick society. I don't say that with judgment, nor is it my quote, it's Krishnamurti's, but it's true. And that example is like, you won't see that often in our society. And that's why she's so healthy. Are you willing to be the one who stands out? And if you don't feel like you fit in, it's because you were born to stand out, right? You were born to create a new paradigm. So I don't know why this is coming through to share with you all today, but it is. And I've been looking at it for a year, and I've always wondered about that painting, yet never thought to ask. Yay! Can you do a video for social anxiety? I have been struggling with it since I was a little kid. Yes. COVID is a mental health crisis. The mask is symbolic. I love that's so powerful. This is great. Thank you. You're welcome. Some people hate themselves and can be very difficult to be kind with themselves. I've been there, but I'm so glad that now I love myself, and I believe I finally found peace. I'm 20 years old, by the way. You're amazing. And hallelujah, whatever you've done on your path and committed to on your path in order to find self-love and clean up the belief structures that society very subtly can plant, and sometimes not so subtly. Amazing. You're amazing. Thank you. You just like gave me hope that a 20-year-old on our planet is living this way. I love you for showing up. Thank you for sharing your heart yet again. I miss you so much, Mandy. Oh, Jessie is here. To know love is to know trust. To know oneself is to know truth. Beautiful. Needed to hear that. Ego deaths have been happening a lot lately due to the changes I've been making. Beautiful. And knowing you, Mandy, you're moving through with grace and authenticity. I never left her. Patience, caring, secure. She found her real self. I am having a dance party. So beautiful, you guys. Oh, I see. Careful, Carpenter. With patience, I saved my wife from her fear. Aww. This is so beautiful. I'd be so curious, my Tubes Commentary Lounge. What have you been writing down? Are you making videos on that? My heart just expanded by seeing you. So excited. I'm so proud of you. Poetry is such a beautiful language. I've been having this thought of, okay, some part isn't going to let me say that, but of coming in here, and I love the word frolicking, so playful and full of life. Yes, of coming in here and doing a meditation and maybe sharing the poetry that's moving through me. Yeah, we'll see. Nice picture in the background. I support the Mother Nature calling. Yes. So, real quickly, as far as social anxiety, Fanny, I just want to say that, Britta, I love you. Yeah. Um, I'm literally sweating now. Yeah, share the thing that is just in my heart that's not like 3 steps to healing social anxiety, which is incredibly valuable, and I know it helps people. That's why I'm confident sharing this sort of thing. But the poetry, it's a whole nother story. Okay, so with social anxiety, I definitely intend to make a video on that, Fanny. And if you could write down a really specific question for me about when it comes into your life, how does it come into your life? Like, what is your specific question? How do you deal with it? What, you know, let me know if there's any more specificity you can give me so I can answer more powerfully. But I will say this to anyone having social anxiety. It is completely unnatural to fit into what Krishnamurti calls a profoundly sick society. And I don't, it feels like a very judgmental way of putting it, but I'll just say a very false society masks personas. Like, everyone's personality actually means mask. The root of persona means mask. So of course, when you are an empath or a highly sensitive person or simply someone in touch with love, and you walk into a social situation and everyone is trying to uphold a certain image in order to come off as like, I'm amazing, I'm the most confident person in the world, I am so wonderful, can't you tell? And then at home they're like, yeah, and breaking down and crying or popping pills to feel good. Or not that there's anything wrong with these things, I'm just kind of pointing out the absurdity of our culture. Of course it brings up anxiety, because it's like, I don't know how to do that. And part of it is like, bravo for your body being so honest that it quivers in a reality that is so fake that it can't even do it. It literally cannot play the lie, it can't play the game. So can the social anxiety be a friend of like, oh my God, this is hard for me because it's not me. It's not who I am. Now, there's much deeper. I have videos on this channel that are about anxiety that will help you go deeper. And I intend to make a video that will go deeper on how to navigate those fake situations or social situations, which are oftentimes synonymous, from a place of presence and ease and calm. What I do suggest is, I did a video a long time ago with a young woman named Mariana, who's older now. She's incredible. She was a client I worked with who suffered with social anxiety. You might look up that video because she and I were sharing some powerful, yeah. So it was something like Queen Mariana is in the title. So it's probably hard to find under just social anxiety. I think I'll leave it at that. I love you guys for being here with me and for just this community. Thank you, you're so kind. I still have some struggle with life cause of some permanent health problems, and I still worry about things, but now my mental health is great and I try to stay positive. So beautiful. And I'll just say, with the physical health stuff, I feel like the body never lies. It's a very honest instrument. It will always give feedback when something is off. So when you say the word worry, you know, worry can play into health issues or doing too much. Like, I'm actually looking at my life right now and going, whoa, like I can do so much less. There's nowhere to go. Like I'm good. And how can I be even kinder to my body? How can I be even more aware, be even more, breathing even more? So one little tip is, when the worry comes up, instead of the worry, just notice the worry, the thought, and then instead breathe really deeply and slow down, because usually worry is a race towards the future. So the way to, like, you can just slow it down by taking a really deep breath and just consciously choose. Notice the victim consciousness or the fear has kicked in, and instead choose creator consciousness by choosing to breathe, by choosing to slow it down, and then connect with the body and say to the body, I love you, I'm here, I'm not leaving, I'm present with you. And that way the physical body can relax and the cortisol levels, the stress hormone, can go down. Just one little tip that might be useful. All right, you guys. Okay, Jessie. We would love a video of meditation and poem. Beautiful, beautiful, you guys. All right, so if you receive something from this video, give it a thumbs up, or don't. Give it a thumbs up. That's a better choice. And if you haven't already subscribed to this beautiful channel, where we are committed to raising our frequencies, deepening in presence, and growing our spiritual, soul-centered businesses, really bringing our soul work into the world from the overflow, from peace, then I welcome you to join us on this journey so you don't miss a video. All right, you guys, all of my love. Have an incredible weekend. Let's complete with one deep, glorious breath. Exhaling it out. Actually, two more. Inhaling something good into your whole body, your whole being right now. And exhaling it out, shedding that light, shining that light into your household. And one more deep breath in, inhaling in deeply. And sending love into the community, into your country, into our world. Just taking a moment to send light to every single human, every living being, every animal, every tree, every creature. Just sending some peace with the mere intention of shining light without any effort at all. May all beings feel a little more love right now. All right, you guys, I will see you in the next video.